Hi, Bill here. Today we'll be looking at something different. Today we'll be looking at a 3D printed model with light up features. Now I haven't created this, I got this off eBay from this seller here. So go and look at his work. Now he only had one up at the time, so I don't know if he's going to create more of this. I don't know, but he only had one at the time. I don't see any other videos reviewing this. There might be, I couldn't find any when I tried to search, but this guy does create models with light up features, 3D printed models with light up features. So go and look at his page and support the guy. And if he is watching, thanks very much, pal. That's fantastic, this thing. And we'll get right into it now. He calls it the triangle UFO-M. Now I'll clear that up, and you can pause the video and read all that. That's what this 3D printed light up model is featured on. Obviously my hand's shaking about, but if you pause it you can read all that. Okay, it does have light up features like that, which you'll see, and the interior is there, but that is what he calls it, the triangle UFO-M. So there we go, that's what he calls it. There's nothing on the back, it's just one sheet. Right, so here it is, and it comes with a stand, as you can see, which is probably also 3D printed. And there it is there. Really nice detailing on it. I'll spin the model round. It looks a bit like a triangular Oreo with the white filling in the centre. I haven't quite closed it because to open it, because it's 3D print, you know, they're not as robust as a manufactured product that's been made. You've got to be a bit more gentle with it. But there you go, there's a stand that just slots into these slots there. There's one on that side, there's a little bit that slots in there. That's how you put it in the stand. And that is it. Now it's very much, even though the seller of the item or creator of the item says it's not, I repeat, not a TR3B, it's as close to a TR3B as you can see, with the light in them and the three lights in the outer bit and the central light. It's as close to a TR3B lighted model as you're going to get, without buying a TR3B model and putting your own lighting kit in it, or creating your own 3D printed TR3B model and putting a lighting kit in it. 3D printers, we know a lot of 3D printers are out there these days, and you can create all sorts of wonderful things. So, but you know that the tolerances are not as strong as actual manufactured products that have a bit more robust. So you've got to be careful with this, and I'm being very careful with it. Right, to activate the features, well, first of all, I'll take it off the stand. I've got to be very gentle with it. The stand, it's quite in there. Hold on. I don't want to break the stand or it. Right, got to be very careful. So there it is there, in hand. Looks really cool. I love the design, Aztec design pattern on it. Kind of Aztec-y type things. And the same with underneath. But yeah, that's your typical TR3B. It's not quite black. It's kind of, it is a black, but it's not a very dark. It's not black like the stand is. See, the stand's actually darker in colour than this thing is. It's a lighter colour black. It's not as black as this. I think it should have been black as this, but it's a lighter colour black. It's more kind of grey-ish colour than complete black. The stand's complete black. This is what that should have been, but it's a kind of greyish colour. It might not come across on I think for that angle you can see it, and for that angle you can see the difference in colour. So the stand's black, and this is kind of greyish colour. But anyway, it is as TR3B close as you can get, apart from the rear lights. Obviously that tells you it's not a TR3B, because a TR3B doesn't have that. But it's as close as you can get. Right, first of all, before I do the lighting, I'll put it on the ground here. I'll put it on the table here, sorry, and do a size comparison. This is X-Transbot's Klaatu, or their masterpiece Cosmos, G1 Cosmos. There it is with Klaatu. So you can see size comparison there. I've also got that Rodimus Prime from Mech Fans Toys. There's the Rodimus Prime there. So you see that. I don't have any other handy with me. It's probably a deluxe class size figure, because that's probably deluxe or whatever it is. Whatever I compared it to in the video for that, in the video for Klaatu, you'll get the kind of similar size to a Transformer. Obviously that's not a Transformer, but you'll get that kind of size comparison to what it scales next to. You'll get that scale comparison, I mean. So let's activate the lights. Now to activate the lights, you can just use a pen tip, or there's two little white buttons at the back. Right, I'll put it on the stand and you press one in, and that activates. I don't know how well that's coming across. That activates that light. It's not very kind of dirty whitish colour, that. I don't know if you can actually see that. It's a kind of dirty whitey colour. Hold on, I'll put the lights out and let you see it better. That might come across better. It actually comes across better than actually when you see it in person, because it's kind of dirty white. It's not clear, or it's kind of like you know that shower screen you get that's not clear. It's kind of that kind of funny. So it's that, but it comes across so you can see the dirt. But I think the battery must be going in the cell battery, because you put a cell battery into it. Must be going either that, or it's just because it's that dirtiness look on it. But anyway, that's that on. And to activate the other one, you push it in, and there you go. These are much better. These are illuminating. Oh yes, and you can see there. Now you can see it as a TR3B when you look at it like that. But yeah, I think the cell one must be going. I'm sure it's illuminated more. But these AAA batteries, I'll show it in a minute, open, and you can see. But yeah, look at that. Look how amazing that is. And I'll put it on the stand in a minute and let you see it. But yeah, that's what you recognise a TR3B. It's a pity it has that. You can't switch them off independently of that. I'd rather have a way you could switch these off, but they're all connected, all the red lights, so on one button. So unless you've got engineering or electronic expertise to maybe adjust it, it's just going to stay that way. But you can hide it. You can have it like that, I guess, from the front, and it'll look like a TR3B, and hide the lights at the back. You don't have to have it with them exposed to the front like that. You can have it that way, and it'll be a TR3B or like that. Unfortunately, on the stand, it only goes one way. Actually, it goes two ways, but no, it only goes one way, unfortunately. I don't know why. they've made it appear that you can go two ways, because it's not going to stand there. It can only go one way on the stand, where that bit connects onto there. That's a bit of a limitation. So there you go. But you can have it round that way. You can definitely have it round that way with the feet at the back. Okay, it lights up the back wall, but you can have it that way. Where it looks more like a TR3B, you can have the rear lights hidden and just have it like that. So it's not a dead loss. I mean, you can't put it in any of the other points. It's only on one edge, even though it's got the cutout to put it on. It's weird how that's it. But anyway, but you can have it, you can turn it around and have it that way. So it looks like a TR3B from the front, even though you can see the rear one's illuminated on the back wall, but or against the back wall. But that's it. So I'll switch these off. You can have it like that. It looks really cool. And because you obviously you see them when you're up in the sky and you see these videos, you're seeing it from underneath anyway. You're not seeing the top of it. You're just seeing the underneath profile of it. So with these lights and the centre one, I'm going to have to get a cell battery and see if it can illuminate that better, because it is coming across better on the screen. I can see it, but when you're looking at it in real life, it's very dim. It's really dim. But there we go. So I'll switch this off. Give me a second. I'll switch this these lights off, and I'll open it. Actually, I'll do that on camera. Take it off. I'll switch these off. But yeah, that looks really cool. It's like thrusters, isn't it? There's no sound effects, just lights. And I'll switch them off. Now getting this off is tricky, because you've got to pop it up. I don't want to break it. There, that comes off like that. You can see it's got the pegs. I think one of them's stressed a wee bit actually. It looks kind of whitish smart round there. You can see that. If it blooming thing would focus in, I don't know why it's not focusing in. But anyway, oh, I haven't opened the curtain because I put it off to show the lights off. That's better. That's why it wasn't focusing in. But you can see there's stress mark where my thumb is. There's little white bits showing, so I don't know. I'm hoping it doesn't break off. I've been very gentle with it. You can see how it's connecting. Now you'll see this. Now, obviously it takes two AAA batteries for the red lights and one cell one. And I'll tell you what kind of cell it is. It's hard to read on this. It's a CR1216. A CR1216. That's the kind of cell battery it is. And that's for the central light there. But I think it must be losing power. But that's it. You can see all the wiring in with and how it's put together and all that. So it's really cool. And then of course they just friction into them. They actually hold on pretty well. It doesn't come loose. Whether it loosens over time or whether these snap, because they look as if they've got a little bit of white round about them, like there might be stress marks. I don't know, but I don't like to. I'll just put it on gently. Unfortunately, it forces it down when putting it onto the stand, because you can put it on because you're putting pressure on it to get it into that slot there and onto that tab there to go into that slot there. You're putting pressure on it, so it forces it down, it forces it closed more. But I try and keep it open, so when I take it off, I'm not putting that much pressure on it. But it's pretty cool. You can even stand it up like that, I guess, like that, if you want, and have it like that, and have it standing like that, and put the lights on it again, and have it like that, I guess. That one isn't coming across very well. The top one is, my camera, there we are. You can have it like that if you want. Don't know why you would do that, but you can have it like that. So there's different ways to put that. But I'm getting another one from a different person that's doing a 3D print. It's of the Invaders UFO. You know, the Invaders. And it lights up. And it's 3D printed as well. I was going to get the Lost in Space Jupiter 1 from the original TV series, not the movie, not the new Netflix series, the Jupiter 2, but from the original. I don't know if the central bit underneath rotates. I don't know. Again, there's no video reviews of it from these particular people that make these, so I don't know if the central one underneath the Jupiter 2 rotates. It's supposed to, but I don't know. Other lighting models I've seen has that central bit underneath that the lights rotate, which is supposed to do. But whether this person's model that also does the Invaders UFO are just static lights, or whether they rotate on the UFO, I don't know. I'm getting that soon, hopefully. It's maybe, I think it's supposed to come first or second week I think it's about the first week or weekend into October. I think it's supposed to come. So I'll be getting that then. But it's not from this seller or this creator. It's from a different person. So, but it is 3D, like this, it is 3D printed, so, and it does have light up features on it, so it'll be pretty cool. So just let you know about that. I'm kind of a wee bit into that, you know, the UFO stuff. I've always wanted a TR3B that lights up, even though this creator seller says it is not a TR3B. He says it on his eBay page, but it's as much close to a TR3B as you're going to get that lights up. It's pretty cool. Obviously no sound effects, because I think a lot of them descriptions of UFOs that's seen are silent. You're not going to get any noise off them, so you couldn't really put sound effects because they seem to make no noise, so it's just light up. So pretty cool. And that's it. Okay, so I'll put it on the stand again and finish the review. But no, this isn't something that you're going to see mass produced or in the shops, unfortunately. It is a 3D printed model, and I'll just have it like, well, I'll stick it up like that. It is a 3D printed model. I don't know what way to sit it. I have to sit it like that. It is a 3D printed model, and you're not going to see this in the shops, unfortunately. But that's it. So this has been a review of the Triangle UFO-M from Pektek13. Okay, so now, like I said, I cannot stress this enough. He only had this one in. I don't know if he's going to create more. That's between you, the buyer, and him, the seller. You may have to open a dialogue and see if we'll make more of these if you're interested in one. Okay, but he only had one, so I bought it. But you'd have to open a dialogue with that Pektek13 to see if he would be interested in making more. Or if maybe he is making more and he'll put another one up eventually over time, I don't know. But he only had that one in, and I'm doing the review of it. So there we go. So again, support his channel, go and have a look at what he's got, open a dialogue, see if we'll make another one of these for yourself if you're interested, and you'll get yourself you could get yourself a TR3B, even though he says it's not one. It's as close to one as you're going to get. It does light up. So, and be careful with it. It's not as robust as a manufactured, mass-produced item. You know, it's not as robust, so be careful with it. He does say in the instructions, be careful separating the two halves off when you're changing the batteries, etc. So just be careful. Okay, that's all I've got to say in that. And yeah, it is limited with a stand. It can't fit on the other side. There's no way to make it fit. It would fall off, and you could end up damaging it or breaking it, because it is a 3D printed model. It's not as robust. So it only fits on one end, unfortunately. But you can turn it around to an angle you like. It will, like I say, it will. You will get that backlit bouncing off whatever's at the back of it, but that's just the way it is. Unless you've got electronic experience and you can turn these lights off and just keep the bottom ones on. I don't know, you might have to fiddle with it. If you've got that sort of expertise, I don't know, with electronics or whatever. So, but apart from that, that's me. I've been rambling on, but I love it. It's a great model. I love the design. I love the hexagonal pattern. I love the patterning on it. Pity it's not black, completely black like the stand is. You can't tell the difference. I think it came across in the camera that it was a slightly different colour from the stand. I think that should be completely black like the stand is, but it is what it is. But it's still really cool having a TR3B. Well, I'll call it a TR3B, even though the creator of it doesn't want it called that. But there we go. Or doesn't call it that. But there we go. As obviously TR3B doesn't have them lights at the back. But there we go. But that's it. That's me finished. So there we go. You'd have to go and open a dialogue, see if you want one of these, to see if you'll create more. Okay, right. Thank you very much. That's definitely me this time. Until that Invaders UFO 3D printed model comes out at sometime at the beginning of October, and the first week into October it'll arrive. So it says it's going to arrive then. So it'll be sometime around then. You'll see that, and that's me. Thank you. Bye for now.